Yo, what's poppin' guys, Sizzle here. Welcome back to another episode of How's the HUD. In this episode, we're going to be looking at FlawHUD by Critical Flaw. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's go look at the menu. So first off, menu right here, we got a grayscaled Halloween harvest. Pretty interesting vibe going on. A lot of the rest of the UI elements are also like grayscaled. But unlike Bud HUD, where it's like minimalist and simplified, this is just grayscaled. That's just the vibe they're going for. We got an items, store, options workshop. We keep the coin. Nice to have the coin. Check these out. Pre-recording. The Uncle Dane one links to the Uncle Topia servers. This thing is Potato TF, which is the MVM charity servers. Pretty nice to have these on cooldown, especially during the bot crisis. An Uncle Dane server button is just really nice. Very convenient. Could save you a little bit of time. Links to like things that this HUD specifically is tied to, and then things like favorite server, which is over here for some reason, contractor, message of the day, which is the news, HUD options, and then refresh HUD. Oh, that's pretty cool. They have like a nicer set of options. Damage colors, pretty neat. Streamer mode. I hit toggle streamer mode just now. It might take a second. Okay, streamer mode closed the party thing in the top left, which is pretty neat. Probably, you know, disables decals or whatever as well. I'm gonna turn that back off. Pretty neat to have options for stuff like this though, like net graph, match HUD, text chat, like that is genuinely nice to have available. We got all the other buttons here as well, all nice and stylized and stuff. Looks pretty good. This is the first HUD I think I've reviewed where the item section actually looks different, and they got some very nice stylized icons for all different classes. The equip screen even looks different. I actually kind of like this, like having this all off to the side and then the character off on its own. I'm not sure if I like this or stock better, but this is very unique and like just frankly good. Like I don't think you could argue this is like bad or whatever. It also has the total thing, the current on-wear attributes, like all the different bonuses and downsides you have combined into one. Right, so you can see the 20% damage vulnerability on wear, that's from the power jack, 35% self-damage force is from the scorch shot. Didn't know that. That's a really interesting stat that I just didn't know about, and now thanks to FlawHUD, I know about that. That's really interesting. Oh. But yeah, that's pretty neat. That's a pretty neat thing there. Backpack wise, we got the high quality models from Bud HUD. Same type of thing. Looks nicer than stock for sure. And I think they changed some of the colors here or something, because I feel like the items are a little more pronounced than they were in Bud HUD, but maybe I'm just hallucinating that. Not as sure about stuff like that. Yeah, I think this is a pretty neat loadout screen type thing. Yeah, you got the red and blue buttons, you got the taunt menu with an actual taunt looking icon. Pretty neat stuff all around on the main menu here. We do have the custom find game button. We got community servers, MVM, competitive, and casual in that order. I love the look of this. This is probably my favorite one so far. I like it because it's like stylized to TF2. I don't like how, I guess there's probably like a limit with HUDs. I don't like how if I click casual and then competitive, it stacks it over the casual. When I click at it, clicks out of everything. But I guess that's just a hard limit. Like, I don't think this is the HUD creator's fault. Would be cool though if I could like click the button again to toggle it back off while keeping the mode selection thing up, but yeah, still really sick, and you can still toggle between them quite easily. But yeah, I do really like this mode selection thing though. I think this is another thing, and maybe at the end of this I'll just build my own Frankenstein HUD that has like everything combined from all my favorite HUDs. Because I love it. This is my favorite thing so far. The icons on everything. I think the competitive icons even just in-game or whatever, but it just looks so clean and still TF2-like, and I think most HUDs could benefit from it. We have a nice red-blue gradient on the performance report. That's pretty neat, with blue being the high stats and then red being the low ones. Makes sense. I'm actually kind of shocked that Sniper's my second most played. I figured it'd be Demo Man or Engineer. But I guess I do oftentimes just whip out the Huntsman. Unfortunately, like Bud HUD, there's no like visuals when you're joining on the map. That's very unfortunate. For some reason, the text is massive when we're joining this server. Like, it covers the entire screen. The buttons are extra large. We have a very interesting, every single like character select has been different in all of these. Unfortunately, no like sound like in stock TF2 when you swap between them, where it makes the little sound effects go with it. But pretty clean nonetheless. You have like a nice little rundown, everything all at once. That's why I'm like noticing with this one, right? When we were on the backpack tab from before, not backpack, when we were on like any of the equip screens, you could see it all at once, all together. And that's kind of what the loadout screen here is. All at once, all together. At random edit loadout. And you can just kind of see all the models. You can turn them on this one too. I don't think you could do this on HUD. So that's another neat little thing. But I did notice it was kind of flickering as I was doing that. Like I could see my character in the back flickering. I think we have custom fonts on that little screen as well, like the one that just popped up. Yeah. As for in-game stuff, right, the chat's in the top left, kill feed in the top right, nice and out of the way. I think that's generally just a nice way to have it. Like that's something I would want in my whatever my final HUD ends up being. Probably gonna do 100 HUDs. I think that's what I've decided as I've been recording these. 100 HUDs. I make a nice video ranking all 100 of them, and then I make some type of Frankenstein HUD of all my favorite elements combined into one HUD. But yeah, ammo's not very easy to replace. The kill streak is very small, but still there. It's like small enough that it doesn't distract you, but big enough that if you want to look at your kill streak, you can go see it. You got your health there. Do we have like highlights when we're on low health? It goes red and it goes green, just like in stock TF2. But there doesn't seem to be an animation. I'm trying to look for like, yeah. No, there's no type of animation with low and high health, which some people, that's a bonus. For me, I do actually kind of like the animations tied to the low and high health and most of the other HUDs. Bars, the charge bar, nice and central. Yeah, like the head meter thing on the right as well, just right there. Pretty good all around. Engineer, before I forget. Very weird having the build menu come up over the ammo on the right. Not sure if I like that too much. Also insane to get sniped like that. I was just going to place a teleporter and walk back into spawn to go show off a little build menu, but guess I have to do that in 2 seconds from now. Yeah, this is a pretty simplified HUD in a good way. Like, simplified is a good term in this sense. Just very simple, effective, functional HUD. Not as simplified as HUD, which I actually like. Unfortunately, it has like the stock looking health bars at the top, which are a little bit harder to read, so it's hard to tell. Like, for example, this sniper right here, he's missing 2/3 of his health, and it's still green. There's no like color coding on the health amounts, which is something HUD did quite well. And that's gonna probably stand out to me forever, because I don't know if any other HUD does that. That seems like something that could just be HUD only, as far as I know. But yeah, overall, pretty simple, pretty sleek. The lack of a payload, though, and just like a little bar that fills up is a really interesting design choice, though. I don't personally like it. It almost makes me feel like I'm not playing payload, because there's no like moving cart. Even though HUD had a simplified payload and it was like a little trapezoid instead of a proper thing, it still had something there. There's literally just a meter filling up on the bottom for this one. And yeah, there's definitely some custom font or something going on the top right in the kill feed. Because that looks different. I can't pinpoint exactly what makes it look different, but 100% looks different. Right. Got the usual, like, fading health as you gain health from health packs and all that. It's just clean. It's clean, functional, simple, efficient, and it doesn't, like, deviate from TF2's art style super hard. It's just like a nice, solid, simplified HUD. Pretty hard to go wrong with this one. That's pretty much my thoughts. I personally don't like a lot of the stylistic choices. Like, I don't like the change in text in the top right. Was this the back button or reload? Okay, that's the back button. Don't like that icon is used there. I'm kind of split on this one. I think this is super neat, but I think I personally don't like it, which is, that's personal preference right there. That's the power of HUDs, is you can get whatever fits your preference best. mute players and all that gets added in here, which is actually super neat. I like how I was wondering why there was empty space here, and so that these buttons could just be added onto the end and look super clean. But yeah, I think this is like a better mix. Like FlawHUD is like the ultimate. If you want the most simplified, efficient HUD out there, I feel like that's FlawHUD. Like FlawHUD is more, you know, as the name suggests, flawed, and tries to follow a bit of the TF2 art style, you know, look a lot more like natural, a lot more normal, while still benefiting from a lot of the simplicity of FlawHUD. It's a very nice mix of the two. Yeah. I also wonder what the hell is going on in the chat. There's nothing gay about this. I almost never look at chat, especially with it so far out of the way. But that soldier just looked at me. Like, yeah, you just killed my teammate. That's cool. Where are the health packs on this map? I don't actually play on it too often. Yeah, I think that's most of what there is to talk about this HUD. I guess as I talk about more and more HUDs, they'll kind of blend together. You know, I'll be like, oh, this has nice simple stuff like FlawHUD, or this has, you know, a more stylish look similar to Middleman HUD, or like the tilted characters from I don't know if anything else will have the tilted characters from Middleman HUD. I feel like that only worked with how they were positioned. Like, that was such a unique thing. But yeah, here I am in the FlawHUD video talking about anything other than FlawHUD. Like that fucking ramp that only works half the time when you trimp on it in Demo Night. Yeah, with that being said, I don't really even think there's anything else to talk about when it comes to this HUD. It's just simple and nice. The main menu being all like somber is kind of weird, and I'm personally not the biggest fan of that. I also don't like some of the other choices, like I said, the change font, for example, I'm not the biggest fan of. I'm a big fan of this mode selection, find a game thing, though. That's a big takeaway from this HUD. Glad I used this HUD at bare minimum just to experience that, because it's so damn sexy. So do we have like 4 demo nights? Are we all? I noticed we had a few demo men, but I didn't realize we were all demo nights. Probably explains why they're about to all swap pyro. Yeah, whenever I die here next, I'll give my my losing thoughts, which is going to be right now, because what do I do about this? Wait, hold on. Is that backburner or random crits? I don't really know. It seemed like random crits, but it could have been backburner. With that being said, though, I like the simplicity of this one. Like, it works well, works solid. I don't think this is as high effort as Bud HUD. I don't like a lot. I don't really like the font change. I think that's the main thing. There's some type of font change or something. You can even see it here when I hold tab, which I guess I didn't do in most of these videos. I probably should have. Don't like the font change super much. I do like a lot of the other parts, like the rest of this. The left side here looks very solid. Having an Uncle Dane, Uncletopia, Potato TF button is pretty neat to have. I do like the little HUD options thing. That's pretty nice to just have accessible. The find a game thing, obviously, super good. Like, that is one of the nicest looking things I've seen in a HUD ever. And everything else is just solid, placed well, works well. But I feel like this isn't particularly special in the way it's done. I feel like it's just a really good, standard, like, semi-minimalist HUD. Like, I want to give it a 4 out of 5 just for doing a really good job at being a very solid HUD. But it's nothing, like, special. I feel like a 5 out of 5, there's, like, something special. They're doing something really well. They're doing something really cool, really unique. And this HUD, I feel like outside that find a game thing, I feel like it's pretty standard with most other simplified mods. But yeah, with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.